back to my channel, and if you're new here, then welcome. My name is Maddie, and today I'll be sharing my January TBR. So, if you maybe have noticed, if you've seen my previous videos, I am in a new location. I am now in an RV, which I'll be living in for temporary or long term. I'm not quite sure yet. It's very up in the air what is happening, and it's kind of stressing me out, but this will be my situation right now. And so I might be filming in this location primarily, or I might be filming it in my car sometimes because my mom and my stepdad will be moving into here shortly, so I'm sure there's going to be times when they're here when it's going to be kind of noisy, and so for that reason I'll need to go to a different location because I don't want noise in the background. So I might be filming in my car, which isn't an ideal situation, but it is the way it is. But right now I don't really mind this background. It's not great, but I mean, at least it's clean and presentable, so that's good. Anyway, I will be sharing the books that I want to read in January. I have a good amount of books here. Some of the books I'll be mentioning were from my December TBR, but I didn't end up getting to them in December, so I'll just move them over to this TBR. So I think we're going to talk about those books first. One of those is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, the fourth book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. Didn't get to this one in December, but I still want to get to it. I'm still not in the mood to read fantasy. I think I might kind of be getting to the mood to read one because I haven't read a fantasy book in a while, so I'm sure I'll pick this one up this month, and hopefully I do because I've been really anticipating getting into this one, so I think it'll happen. We'll just see, but I'm pretty positive. And another one from my December TBR was The Fine Print. I really wanted to get to this one in December, and I really tried to, but it just unfortunately didn't end up happening. But I really want to read it because I've heard a lot of great things about it. It sounds super, super cute. It involves this romance with this guy who is the manager of this amusement park, and he gets involved with this girl who I think becomes the designer of the rides in this amusement park. So it sounds super cute, and I really want to get to it, so I'm going to try to this month. And then, like, please, dear God, let this be the last time I put this book on a TBR. I put it on so many TBRs. I need to read it already. That is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. It has to happen this month. No more excuses. It needs to happen. I want to read it so bad, but I keep just not getting to it. So I'm going to try super, super hard this month. I need to. So those are all the books for my December TBR that I'm moving over to this month. The rest are all new books that I haven't put on any TBRs, so let's get into them. First, let's talk about the Colleen Hoover books that I want to read this month. I have 3 Colleen Hoover books on my TBR this month because, as I've been saying, I really want to get to all of her books ASAP because I love her books so much. So I'm going to try to do that. The first one actually comes out this month, and that is Reminders of Him. It is her upcoming newest release, and I've been super excited about it because of that. I don't have this one on hand yet because it hasn't come out yet, but I'm going to try to get the physical copy. I'll probably try to see if I can pick it up at my Barnes & Noble if they have it. I'm pretty sure they will, so hopefully it's going to be there. If not, I'll just get the ebook because I want to read this one as soon as possible when it does come out. I don't quite remember what it's about, but that doesn't matter much to me because it's Colleen Hoover, and I'll pick up anything she writes. And the next one is Heartbones, which has a really stunning, beautiful cover. I love the design of it. Another one that I don't remember quite what it is about, but it is Colleen Hoover, and I will for sure pick it up. I actually have heard mixed things about this one, so I'm a little worried about that, but we'll just see how it goes. And this one I have been really excited to pick up. That is Verity. This one sounds so interesting. So I do know kind of the basic premise of what this one is about, actually. So it follows this woman who becomes, I think she becomes a ghost writer. This author did die, and so I think she's becoming, maybe I don't quite remember what it's about, but it has something to do with a deceased author, and this woman is finding out the secrets about this author or something. I do know that it does fall into the thriller category, which is pretty different from Colleen Hoover because she mainly writes contemporary romances. I don't ever see any thrillers from her, so I feel like this one is going to be different from what she usually writes, so it should be really interesting. So the next one I'm going to try to get to is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I have put this on my TBR for 2022. If you saw my 2022 TBR, I'm sure you know that. So I definitely want to get to it this year, and I'm specifically going to try to get to it this month. This one has always sounded so interesting to me. The summary of it involves this girl who can live forever. However, every single person she meets forgets about her like seconds after meeting her, which is super, super sad. It has to be very lonely for her because I'm sure she can't build any relationships because every person she comes across just forgets about her. But apparently she meets this guy who does remember her. And so that's all I know about it. That whole concept sounds super interesting to me. I hope it's executed well, but I have heard quite a lot of good things about this one, so I'm pretty hopeful. Next one I have is actually going to be a reread, and that is Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. I have read the first 2 books in this series, but haven't gone beyond that because around the time when I was starting this series, I was actually getting into my long reading slump, so that's why I didn't continue on with it, but I really enjoyed the books that I read from this series, so for that reason I want to start it again, but I do need to reread the books that I already read because it's been so long since I read these books that I forgot everything. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reread the first book, and hopefully I can continue on with this series this time. So this one, it is about this world where vampires exist, and each book follows an individual vampire from this brotherhood. They're called the Black Dagger Brotherhood. That's the name for the group of these vampires. So each book follows their individual story. I really enjoyed these books when I read them. They were super dark and thrilling. The romance in them were super good and spicy, so I was so into that. So I am really excited to get back into this one. I am really hoping that I can read the whole series, but this is a 20+ book series. There are so many books in this series that it is so intimidating, but I'm going to really try to read them all. As long as the rest of the books in this series are still good, I will for sure do my best to read the whole thing. And I have faith that all the books will be good because the first 2 books, from what I remember, were good, so I'm thinking it'll happen. I think I'll manage to finish this whole series. I will cross my fingers on that. And the last one I want to get to this month is The Silent Waters by Brittany C. Cherry. This is the 3rd book in the Element series. I am currently reading the 2nd book. I haven't finished it yet, but I should be finishing it tonight. I'm hopeful that I will. So because I'm almost done with the 2nd book, I'm sure I'm going to want to get to the 3rd book this month. This series has been so good. Each book is actually a standalone, so this is a companion series where none of the characters' are stories interlock with each other. They're each their own individual stories. So I have no idea what the 3rd book is about. I haven't read the synopsis or anything, but the first 2 books have been great, so I'm sure I'll enjoy this one too, and we'll just see how it goes. I can't believe I forgot this. This is like the most exciting part of these videos. But I forgot to do my random TBR pick for my Goodreads for this month. So we're going to do that here. I'm going to edit it in here. Even though I completely undressed, I just got done with filming, but we're going to do it anyway because it needs to be done. So if you don't know how this works, is I random number generate a number, and whatever book that number corresponds to on my Goodreads TBR is the book I put on my TBR. And I do this because sometimes I forget about the books that I put on my TBR, so this forces me to read that book that I possibly forgot about. So it really helps get my TBR down. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to generate the number right now. So I got number 263. So let's see which one, what book that is. Oh, no. I almost want to skip this one. Not because I'm not excited to read this book, but I'm already reading a fantasy, a huge fantasy book by the same author. The book is House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. Shoot. I cannot guarantee that I will be able to read A Court of Silver Flames and House of Earth and Blood in the same month. I don't think it's going to happen. And I've been really wanting to get to A Court of Silver Flames. I almost want to break my rule and pick another book. Oh, shoot. Should I do that? I guess I can just skip A Court of Silver Flames this month. I guess I can do that. I've been putting off this book though because it is the first in a series, and the series isn't complete yet, and what I like to do is wait until a series isn't complete before I pick up the first book, just because I tend to forget about what happens in the previous book if it's been too long since I've read it, and that means I usually have to reread the first book in order to get to the second book, because I forget what happens in the first book during the duration of waiting for the second book. So that's why I've been putting off this one. So I might want to just continue to do that, actually. So I think for that reason I am going to pick another one, and I'm going against my rule here, but I've been specifically putting off this book just because I want to wait till the series is complete. So we're picking another one, sadly. So let's see what comes up. 335. Alright, hopefully this one works out. Okay, the book that came up is 𝑟𝑢𝑖𝑡 by Laura 𝐼. I think that's it. I can't remember what this one is about. I feel like it's paranormal. Is it? Yeah, it is. It's a fae romance. Okay. That's right. Yeah, I remember hearing about this one a long time ago, like before my booktube hiatus. So yeah, I'll give it a try. Alright. So that's the one I'm adding to. That's my random TBR pick. So I'm going to really try to get to it as soon as I can because of that. Because I always want to get to my random TBR pick for every month. So it's going to happen. So we'll see how it goes. So those are all the books that I'm going to try to get to this month. I have quite a bit of series I'm starting and continuing. I'm starting Dark Lover, the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. And I'm also going to try to hopefully get to Corrupt, which is the first book in the Devil's Night series this month. And so because I'm starting a few series this month, I'm sure if I end up liking the first books in those series, I'll want to continue reading the books in those series throughout this month. And so for that reason, I'm not sure if I'm really going to be able to get to all these books this month, depending if I want to continue on with those series, because I'll be too busy reading those books from those series this month. So we'll just see how it goes, but hopefully I can get to as many of these books as possible in January. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. I would love to know, and also let me know what books you plan to read this month, because I would also like to know that. Also, I'll end this video with saying Happy New Year, because this is the first video of the new year. So I hope you all guys are having a great year so far. Let's hope the rest of this year will be a good one, because Lord knows we need a good year. The past few years have been so crappy. We really need this one to be a good one. And if you did enjoy this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more anime-related videos and book-related videos. You can also follow me on social media. Those links will be in the description box. I upload on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!